Looks like a duck. Hi everybody! I am back to show you guys how to make those candles I was telling you about. Now, this is the first time I've done this, and I have done hopefully enough research. Things I want to say before I start so that I can't possibly forget to tell you at all. If you're using paraffin wax, which is what I'm using today, you are supposed to heat it to a temperature of 122 degrees to 140 degrees, somewhere in between there. Other things that I should note is you need to be careful when you're doing this because this is all pertaining to really hot stuff, and everything that I read said make sure that you cover the surface that you're working on unless it doesn't matter that it gets ruined. So I did put down wax paper and a cutting board to try and make sure that I can minimize the mess. Okay guys, so here's my wax. Now I cut it up into smaller chunks. Let me just show you. This is what the wax looked like when I bought it. It's in chunks of 3 pieces that are still connected at the bottom, just barely, so that it's easy to cut them apart. Then I took them and I used a really big knife. The bigger the knife, the more sturdy the knife is, so it's going to be easier to actually cut through it. But then I cut it into smaller pieces and I put it into a double boiler, which basically means that the water is underneath the bowl heating the wax slowly so that you don't have to worry about starting the wax on fire. So you're going to melt this down until it's all liquefied and you have a temperature on your thermometer of anywhere from 122 to 140, like I said earlier. Once I have it all liquefied, I am going to add in some scents, which I bought 3 different ones. I have a warm sands, a tranquil waters, and a spice cake, which I thought would be nice for Christmas. So I'm probably going to do most of them in this. I'm not entirely sure yet. We may still use both of these. We'll probably use at least one other one. It all depends how much wax it takes to fill each one of these. Now, once the wax starts melting, you are supposed to put a little bit on the bottom of your wick and stick your wick where you want it. I have these skewers out because you are supposed to prop the wick up between them, so I'm going to tape the ends of the skewer together once I have the wick in between them so that it stands up straight so that you can pour the wax in without having the wick tip over and end up in the bottom of the candle. So that's where I'm going to be for the next, I don't know how long. Okay guys, so I have some of the wax melted and I'm going to go ahead and put the wicks in the bottom of the candles. I'm going to let you guys see how I'm doing that and what it all entails. Basically when you have your wick, when you start, it looks like this. It's got a little metal plate on the bottom, and you're going to take that and dip it in the wax and then stick it in the container that you want to stick it in, or where you want it in the container. So you want to try and get it in the middle. And then, like I said, I'm going to use those skewers to hold them in place so that you can see that I'll be able to pour the wax in without the wick moving or losing the top of the wick and the bottom of the container, which I don't think I would really have to worry about in these candles because they are so short, but it is nice to know for anything that you guys might put it in that would be taller. You can see that there is some melted wax in there. I hope you can see that I'm coating this in the wax, and then I'm just going to set you guys down here so that you can see my container. And then I'm just going to stick this to the bottom, as close to the middle as possible. And you're just going to leave it there for now. Okay guys, so this is what they look like. You can see that in this one I didn't get the wick quite where I wanted it. It popped right off and I got to start over, but I did have to dip it again in the wax. So I'm just going to let these guys sit for a minute and then I will come back to you guys when I'm ready to put these skewers on. I just want to make sure that they are good and attached to the bottom. Okay guys, so here you can see I've got my wicks stood straight up. Like I said, I use those skewers to keep them in place, and that's just balanced across the top of the container, but with them taped together around this, they stay pretty still. Gotta say, it worked out better than I was expecting. Also, an update on our wax. You can see that it's almost completely melted. You can see the water underneath, and we're almost ready to go. Alright guys, my wax is almost completely melted to the point where I am going to go ahead and put in my scent. It comes in a tiny little bottle like this, and like I said, you can get a whole bunch of different flavors, or scents, I guess. And according to the back of the package, this is supposed to make up to 2 pounds worth of wax. And I have just over 1, so I'm going to use about half the bottle. And give it a good stir. It smells really good, guys. Like Christmas. And then you're just going to take it and carefully pour it into your containers. So I'm going to turn you guys back this way so you can see what I'm doing, at least kind of. And I'm going to... Okay guys, so I just made a big mess. As you can see here probably, maybe, I don't know if you can tell. You can at least see this part of it here, but it is all over. So, when you pour fast. And I know that that's easier said than done. I just did it. But yeah, so you can see, let me just turn the camera around here. Okay, so anyhow, you can see that there is a mess that I will have to clean up on the outside of my container, but you can also see that the wax is in there, and it does look pretty nice. I filled it up pretty good. I probably could have gotten 2.5 candles out of what I had melted if I hadn't dumped it all over the place. There is a tiny bit left in here, like a very tiny bit left in here. Oh, sorry guys. So I am actually going to go find a cookie cutter and try and make a wax melt out of that. I went and found some cookie cutters. Hopefully they don't melt. I have a little bit of wax left, and I actually cleaned up the wax that I spilt and put it back in the bowl and remelted it. So I'm just going to try filling these up and see what happens. Hopefully, like I said, the cookie cutter itself doesn't melt. I'll check back. Okay guys, I'm just going on batch number 2. So I'm going to be getting these 2 candles going, and I'm going to attempt to figure out a better way to do that so that it doesn't make such a mess every time. I am pretty excited about this though, because you can make whatever shape you want, so if you think about it, that could be a pretty cool gift all on its own if you know somebody who has a wax melter instead of using candles. So I'm definitely excited to see if they come out nicely. I don't know. That could be the issue. It might come out broken into a million little pieces. I have no idea. So I'm just going to get the wax melted here and get going on time number 2. I'll see you in a bit. Okay guys, so I am now going to cut the wicks on the first 2 candles that I did. This is what you've got for your wick on the candle when you get all done. And you don't need the wick to be that long, so you're just going to cut it off. And you have a finished candle. So I have the other one over here that we did first. The silver one. And we're just going to cut that one off too. And I want to show you guys, these are the wax melts that I've made so far. This one was just a thin one because I ran out of wax, but the rest of them are more like this deep. And I just used cookie cutters. This one broke a little bit, but so far I have actually had pretty good luck with them. I've got snowmen, I've got Christmas trees. They turned out super cute. And I think I'm going to just gift those in a jar and give those to whoever I feel might enjoy them. I have someone in mind, but I don't know if I'm going to actually wait until Christmas to give them to her. So that's where I'm at right now with all of that. Anyhow, then I will check back with you guys again when everything is all said and done here and I have all of the candles completed 100%. I'll see you soon. Okay guys, I actually had to leave and go to work and then come back, thus the different outfit. and I came back and I did actually a third round of the candles, and I just want to show you what I ended up with. They turned out super cool. I am pretty excited about it all. So here is what we have. Okay guys, so these are the 4 candles that we were trying to make. We've got the silver, the green, the gold, and the red. And then when I was making these, I actually have the gold and the silver are 1 scent, and then the green one is a different scent, and the red one is a different scent. So when I did all of that, I did have extra wax. I did use a full 4 pounds of wax to make everything that I made. But I did end up getting 2 small mason jars full, and that they also have the wicks in them, so they are candles. And then I have the wax melts that I was telling you I was going to attempt to make. I did end up with approximately 3 times as many as what you see here, but I did already gift some of them away today before I even got to show them to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put these in this little jar here and tie a little ribbon around them and use those as a gift also. So I do have a total of 3 different scents, and they all smell really good. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button down below for me, and I'll see you guys next time. We'll see. Now I'm rambling, and this isn't even going to end up in my video. Okay.